Recently, I rewatched The Red Sleeve, and this time, Deok Im's dilemma really spoke to something within me. The first time I watched it, I was too invested in the outcome of the romance to see how well it paralleled my life. Other times I rewatched it, I was too distracted by the tragedy of her early death, and even though I empathized with the difficulty of her choice, the gravity of it didn't really hit me until now. It's an apt parallel of the societal, religious, basically conservative view of marriage. You give him your all, he only needs to give you some, or nothing at all really, for he has already bestowed upon you the greatest honor by making you his wife.
Utter crap.
He has rescued you from the bounds and curse that being a single female is seen as.
Oh, really?
Deok Im's hesitance makes so much sense. Once she becomes the king's, her entire life changes, and his life goes on as usual. Even with the bounds that her status of a servant gives her, she still has more freedom than she would as the king's woman. All the women in the palace, the queens, the concubines, the dowagers, seem to have glamorous, easy lives. But at what cost? Their confined lives within the palace just becomes about scheming for their sons, for their husbands, and of course, for the good of the males of the family they're from. Living life for everyone but themselves. There is a very specific mold that being a good wife is. That all women are expected to fit in regardless of character flair. It's presented as gentility and respectfulness, when really it's about having no spine, never standing up for yourself, and holding in the highest esteem the very people whose feet are on your jugular. Deok Im might be the king's favorite, but he still has other women, and he has to be with them too, and she's to just accept it, with no complaints.
No! 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 No!
In the conservative environment I grew up in, it was basically the same. You shouldn't complain and call your husband the lying, disgusting piece of shit he is for cheating. No. You should instead arm yourself with the breastplate of I am a doormat and the helmet of delusions and fight for your home. Report him to God, they say. Help him, for he doesn't know what he's doing, they say. You shouldn't leave the whore. No, you'll be destroying your home then, as opposed to him who is fortifying it, I guess, with the moans and backbones of all the women whose backs he's blown. If you leave the hoe, you're losing your home and letting the other woman win, they say. That's fine. She deserves the price.
Boom!
Anytime Deok Im rejects the king, we see her consoled by the presence of her friends. With them, life as a servant isn't so bad. They're basically the only family she has, and she's loath to lose them. For a lot of married women, friendships end after marriage. For some, it happens because the now married friend changes location, and the distance, conflicting schedules, and responsibilities drain the life out of the friendship. For some, they're advised to cut off their friends after marriage. They're a negative influence. They'll destroy your marriage. They'll give bad advice. I hope I don't lose my friends. The most irksome part of all this is the fact that I'm told not to worry about these things. I'm expected to not have opinions or thoughts about these things. Marriage is a complicated thing, they say. Exactly, I respond. That's my exact point. You can't really judge until you're in it, they say. As long as a man proposes marriage, then I should be grateful, because that means he's serious and he's a good man. Grateful? Grateful for what? I have become too greedy, and the pit of my desires cannot be filled by what most males consider the height of due diligence. simply being a man. I want more. I deserve more.